North Wilkesboro is the spot. Round and round you will find they'll show you what they got. Carolina, don't you know, we know the place to go. It's a little track that cuts no slack, that's up in North Wilkesboro. If a race is what you want, you'll find a seat up front. Join us at the lineup, cause it's time to start the show. Carolina, smuggling booze and driving fast. Carolina, at the time you didn't know that you would last. Carolina, a uniquely oval track. We lost you for a few years and it's great to have you back. Carolina, don't you know, we know the place to go. It's a little track, cuts no slack, that's up in North Wilkesboro. If a race is what you want, you'll find a seat up front. Join us at the lineup, cause it's time to start the show. You know, we know the place to go. It's a little track, cuts no slack, that's up in North Wilkesboro. If a race is what you want, you'll find a seat up front. Join us at the lineup, cause it's time to start the show. Join us at the lineup, cause it's time to start the show.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
You think you've got what it takes?
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word, life repeats forever. That's my long time. But I'm in attack. It's something else.
2 decades have shaped the world.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to TNT. That's Tuesday Night Thunder Shock Series. And we are coming to you live from North Wilkesboro Speedway here. Who's we? Well, it's the usual boys up here. It's Joe Lo up in the booth with Big Al, with Kobe down in the truck, pulling the levers, pushing the buttons, making it all happen as we come to you live yet again. Here we go. Big Al, you ready for some heat racing down here at North Wilkesboro, buddy?
Get it going here. Back in the hills, Carolina. I think this is going to be a great one.
I think so too, my friend. It's a nice short track. It's going to be a lot of fun to see. I've never really watched a lot of open wheel racing here, so this is going to be interesting for me to get a chance to see some of this. We got 10 guys ready to go around and put down some times here. Practice has been pretty quick. You know, we're pulling 16 and a half second laps here. So this is going to be one of those races that just kind of speeds by, I think, but we're going to have a good time the whole time, as we usually do here with TNT Shock Series. So we're going to get things kicked off, and maybe we'll give you a little brief, little pre-show action here. Let's start with maybe the conditions on the track. Pull those up. See if we can see a little bit of what's going on here. It's a half-mile oval, North Wilkesboro, 50 minutes right now. We're going to do 2 heats, I believe, or do some heat racing. Fuel limit, 55%. Tires, 3. Not going to have to worry about that probably too much. I got a feeling these guys are going to be able to go all the way. And then in the air, it's 67, 73 on the track right now. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Wind out of the east, 7 miles per hour, partly cloudy. So it's not really crazy conditions out here right now. Pretty mild overall. And I think that that's going to just help everybody stay on the track.
Indeed, Joe. Indeed.
And in terms of what we've got going on, let's see if we can look at the standings as they stand right now in the TNT Shock Series. Up there at the top with 5 wins, it's James Watson, looking pretty good, 342 points. Right behind him, it's Camargo, who got 1 win very recently, and LaBarge after that. Minzes. I gotta remember how to pronounce that name. I learned that last week. Minz.
Like
Thank you. Men's, thank you. Awesome. Shire, Long, Aldrich, Fell, Bernardi, and Pompiani. Do your top 10 here. Mins, thank you very much. Connor Mins, I remember that. All right. And now let's see about some keys to racing around North Wilkesboro. Big Al, you want to tell us some trivia, how to go around here?
All right. The first thing we got to say is momentum beats aggression. It's one of those tracks where you just got to understand that sometimes you just got to let it slow roll, especially around 1 and 2, and then coming around 3 and 4. Remember, momentum is always going to beat aggression. Next. Got to manage that right front tire. We talk about this week in and week out. Kind of goes back place off of that first one. Once you're coming around that turn, you got to back out a little bit. Save that right tire. Gently get back on it. Once you roll through, that's going to be key to making it last, making it stick. And last but not least, traffic awareness and patience. It's going to be a lot of traffic. Going to be a lot of lap traffic down there tonight, Joe. Even though we only have a small field, this is a small track. So as you come around, not everybody's going to be on the lead lap every time. So guys are definitely going to have to be cognizant of what lap the people around them are on, and they're going to have to be patient with that, Joe. Those are the keys to the race.
All right, boom, boom, boom. You heard it here first, folks. You got some keys to going around, and we can see some wonderful glamour shots here of North Wilkesboro's grandstands. Very shortly here, we will be giving you some glamour shots of the cars as they get lined up here. We got a buck 42. About that much left in the warm-up here. We're still in the warm-up phase, and then we're going to have, I think we got a little bit of qualifying after that, right? And then after that, we'll be on to the race. Let's see about talking with folks. If you're listening right now, if you're watching, we'd love to get an idea of who you would love to see win tonight's race. But why don't we do you want to do our picks now, or you want to save them for later? Let's do let's do them now. Why not?
Yeah, let's roll through it. We got time.
All right, Big Al, how about you go first?
Man, I guess Big Al's going to go ahead and pick Mr. Brian LaBarge there. He's going to be my choice to win this thing tonight. Brian with a Y.
Good choice. Good choice. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking James Watson tonight, mostly for the statistics, man. I got to say, I'm playing the statistics a little bit here. But LaBarge and Watson were the 2 fastest drivers we had in practice. So between the 2 of them, I think that there is a very good chance that one of the 2 ends up in the top, if not definitely in the podium. And Kobe, what do you got?
Okay, gentlemen. This week I have decided to go with none other than where's she when it decides to pop up for me. There he is. I don't know why, just something in my bones feels like he's got it in him tonight, so I'm going to put it down. My money's where it is. Where's she? That's my man.
All right. So we've got 3 different numbers here tonight for you across the board, folks. We got the 8, the 39, and the 16, I believe. Those are your pick 3 if you're a gambling man. Go out and get a lottery ticket with those numbers on it, and you'll owe Big Al and I a cut if you win, and Kobe too, of course. Imagine that. Imagine if somebody did win the pick 3 with our pick numbers. That would be a wild day.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start playing them.
Yeah, you know what? It seems like the best way to get 3 random numbers sometimes is just to ask the commentary team for their picks in a race and just go with that. You know, don't play birthdays. Don't play anything predictable. Just pick the commentary team, and if just hope that they don't just say, you know, the same number across the board 3 times. Here come a few qualifying laps here. Just keeping an eye on who's who right now out there on the racing field. And we want to see how well they do in qualifying versus practice. In practice, we had some very fast times out of some guys there, and I just want to see how I always love seeing how they compare to practice compares to qualifying, especially on short tracks. Now let's see who we've got. I think that is Simon Fell right there in the STP livery. Simon heading down pit road after setting a 16.675. Only other person out left, I think. We've got Michael Long still out. And we got Miles Morse still out as well.
Yeah,
Morse there.
Miles Morse putting down himself a little bit of a stinger.
Yeah. Let's see what he does. Morse on his first hot lap right now, I think. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Dragging the line.
Shouldn't have been watching him. Too much pressure.
Too much pressure, right? All eyes are on Morse there. I think that he's not going to probably go back out. No, Morse is going to go ahead and put him up, and he's going to head over to the end of qualifying. That means qualifying is going to wrap up there, and we're going to have the nice shortened finish here. After qualifying, we only had about 5 cars actually finish a qualifying lap there. Labarge, Long, Fell, Camargo, and Mins. And out of those 5 cars, it was Labarge out at the top. Labarge, the fastest in practice and the fastest in qualifying right now. But wait, there's more. James Watson is out there on the track setting a qualifying lap. It's got a very good, very clean line. All right, here he comes across the line, and let's see what the initial outlap says there. Woo! Watson with a 16.590. Very fast. And James Watson and Brian Labarge find themselves in the exact same positions that they were in practice. That is Labarge in first, Watson holding on to second. And folks, we're going to take a short break, and when we get back, it's going to be racing time here at North Wilkesboro. So stay tuned and get ready.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Hey, we are back here on Tuesday Night Thunder Shock Series. And we're at North Wilkesboro, which means it's time to get ready for the grid. We're back from the break, and now we're going to talk about who's going around. In first place, your pole position goes to Brian Labarge. Second to James Watson, sitting exactly where they were in practice. Third is going to go to Michael Long. Fourth, Simon Fell. And fifth place is going to go to Nija Camargo. Take it away, Big Al.
Yeah, that's going to put Connor Menzies in 6th with West Shire. Going to be rolling around in 7th. 8th place shows you Miles Morse. And on that last row, surely not least, Eric Dubois and Drew Bernardi.
Yeah, this is a tricky track. We saw some of these guys who were down a little lower on the grid. They didn't finish qualifying. They managed to get around, but then they lost a little control. It wasn't easy. Getting around North Wilkesboro in these open wheel cars looks like it has some danger associated with it. And here, James Watson getting those tires warmed up. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Getting himself ready to go. Any second now, the pace car is going to pull off. This is a short track here, a half mile. So we do 2 around before we get going. All right, folks, get ready. Get on the edge of your seat because here we go. Heat 1 is about to start here. Or excuse me, not Heat 1. This 50-minute timed race is about to start here. And we're going to see who's going to take it away at North Wilkesboro. We are green. Go, go, go on Tuesday Night Thunder.
Watson. Look at him going. Watson leading the way here now, doing everything that he needs to do tonight to secure his spot in that championship position. But it looks like Labarge is going to be right there on the inside. He's going to be following him very closely now. And this track really not going to be set for more than we got one car down in the grass over there. I believe that's the 000 car of Eric Dubois. Not going to be a factor, though. Got another car just crashed into the wall. That's going to be the 86 car, Drew Bernardi. He elects to take it behind the wall right now.
Oh. Yeah. Drew Bernardi down, unfortunately. And maybe we'll see him back out on the track, but that's not a good place to start.
But Drew had a pretty hard shot with the wall there, Joe. Definitely, that's not going to buff out, and it's definitely going to cause a lot of ripples in his pond there going through the rest of the evening.
Yeah. That's a good point, Big Al. That's a good point.
Yeah, back on the track. Seems to be doing what it do. James Watson got to be feeling pretty good about the position that he's in. I was actually watching these guys a little bit before we started here back in qualifying. Joe and you and I were talking as this season's almost coming to an end here. I do believe we have just a couple more races left with these guys in the Tuesday Night Shock Series. But I'm going to tell you, it's been a season. Seen a little bit about everything from these guys so far.
Yes, sir. And it looks like Drew Bernardi is out of the race. He is that damage was too much, and Drew Bernardi is gone.
Yeah, we hate to see that. Those guys really needed to have a strong showing here this evening if they wanted any chance of trying to salvage anything going into the postseason. Looks like that's just going to be a little bit too much to ask. Watching Simon Fell as well as Michael Long, seems that this racetrack right now is seems to be lending itself to tandems. We got a lot of 2-car pairs running around.
That's a good point. I see those 2-car pairs here in the field as I look back through the field a little bit. I see people teaming up, trying to stay relevant, trying to stay in this race.
Yeah, that's going to be key. Also, it's interesting to see not everybody's choosing the same line.
No, yeah, I noticed that too. Ooh.
It's like in the tandem, you have a low car, then you'll have a high car.
Another crash.
Hey, pace car's out. Caution's out for the first time here tonight.
Yeah, I think that was Eric Dubois with a crash there.
Well, the 000 again. Eric just not having a good night. Just got that car back on the racetrack. Remember, he actually lost it in the first 5 laps. Now he's back out running by himself with no pressure. Just gets up in that loose stuff there on the high side. And then bringing it around just gets a little bit too sporty with him on the turn. And I definitely think that's going to put a little bit more of a divot there in his golf swing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. He's gonna give his golf swing a little bit more dip than he wants it to have. That's for sure. And it looks like it was just too much. Probably, I'm guessing, double digits worth of repair time.
Yeah, he didn't hit it. He didn't hit his golf ball solid, but he smacked the heck out of that car. Yes, he did.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little too much, and that shows what happens when you give a little too much. Well, it takes a little too much, and that's what happened there. Unfortunate. Drew Bernardi, hopefully we'll see you back in the race next time. But right now, James Watson out in front during this yellow. Brian Labarge in second, flipping the order from qualifying and practice. Now Watson showing that his practical race skills have got him a little bit of an edge right now.
Yeah, indeed, especially having 2 cars less in the field right now than the 10 that we started with. 10 cars on this field, yeah, that's pretty good. 8 cars on this field, though, that's going to make things a little bit more challenging because now, even if you were a solid contender, you could still find yourself at the back of the pack, and that's a whole different set of trees to cut.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it, my friend. And now the tires are warming up here again. Watson just trying to keep that rubber hot. Doesn't want to be running around on cold tires. That can sometimes be a death knell. And it can lead to situations like we just saw with Mr. Bernardi, where you've got tires that are just a little too cold to overdrive, and you overdrive them.
Got to keep as much heat in those tires as you possibly can. But thank goodness this racing model has not been as updated as some of the others, so I don't think tires really matter as much. Pace car off, single file restart. Watson takes it. He's on his way. Green flag's back out. Chase is on. Labarge getting a solid start. Simon Fell actually going around high. All the positions seem going to stay the same here as we continue coverage here at North Wilkesboro, the home of the Holly Farms Chicken Man.
That's amazing. The Holly Farms Chicken Man. I got to look out for this thing.
We grew up with, being in North Carolina, we grew up with the Holly Farms Chicken right there. And those, surprisingly, those are actually the breaking points for a lot of different cars here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. You're looking for that yellow and black Holly Farm sign, and that's actually, that's your checkup point.
That's amazing. Oh, that's really funny. Holly Farms Chicken. I love it. And right now, I also love that James Watson is still so far out in front. Brian Labarge right behind him, a little over half a second back. Now, Watson has got a very professional looking line. He's got a line that says to me that he knows the best place to put the car. It's not in the extremes. He's going to the wall on the outside, but he's not quite diving the inside as hard as he could be, putting those tires against that curb there. He's just not doing it. He's giving it about 55-60% in terms of dipping towards the inside on these turns, but he's not going all the way down and just riding it all the way through the corner. I think he knows the car better than that.
Yeah, indeed. We're going to have to go through a lot of different transitions and stages here for this thing is over. Real big battle going on for the last 3 cars on the lead lap. Almost a little 3-wide action right there for these guys.
Ooh, yeah. More Shire and Mins.
We got to take the racing where we can find it tonight.
Yes, sir. Now Shire's out in front of that little group. Ooh. Very close, though, as Morris falls back. And the next casualty was Eric Dubois, obviously. Dubois is still behind the fence, getting worked on.
Yeah. Eric took a hard shot.
Yeah, he did. No way around that.
Looking off that back wing of West Shire. Was currently sporting around in that 6th spot. Qualified in 7th, so, hey, those guys got to be happy that they made it up 1.
And just one.
Connor Mins actually fell back. He was originally in that 6th spot. Besides him, our leader, James Watson and Brian Labarge, the order pretty much remains the same. Even having the 9th and 10 cars respectively behind the wall.
That's actually true. I didn't even think about that. But that comes up as very true.
Side by side action. I don't know, Joe. What are you thinking as we watch Men's going battle here with Morse? Do you think these two guys right now riding side by side is going to be detrimental to them trying to actually keep the draft and stay on the lead lap?
It's kind of hard for me to say. With them side by side, I'm not sure if this track is big enough for side drafting to be an issue or to be a valid strategy even. But it could be. You tell me a little bit. You probably know more about the open wheel setup than I do. How much side draft can you get off one of these cars at North Wilkesboro?
We're really not getting a lot of draft off these cars at all, just because the track is so small. Those runs on the front stretch and the back stretch don't really lend you a lot of time to kind of get that thing up to speed. I do know that when you're side by side on a track like this, especially, both drivers have to be cognizant going into the turns, because you don't want to slide up, and if you're up top, you want to try to keep as close to the bottom as you possibly can. So that's the reason why I was saying it ultimately would slow you down.
And we've seen a lot of sliding here. A lot so far during practice. And I guarantee you we're going to be seeing some during this race.
Yeah. Kool-Aid Man even said that.
Oh, yeah.
He got it. I was waiting.
Something like that. I was trying to get the voice just right in my head.
Oh, yeah. We'll figure it out.
Right now, though, the man figuring it out, that's James Watson. He's still way ahead. Well, not really way ahead. I don't want to say that he's way ahead, because Brian Labarge is still... He's got a gap that's actually closing on James Watson. Labarge is getting closer by the minute here. That half-second gap is staying around half-second, but it's not getting any bigger.
Yeah, I think he might have lost a little bit just a couple turns ago. Seemed like he might have stepped out of pocket just a hint. And it don't take much here on a track like this.
No, it really doesn't. I've noticed that. If you step out, that is a great turn of phrase, or out of pocket. If you step out of pocket here at all, the track bites you, and it bites you hard.
Looking at West Shire, is that gap definitely starting to grow as these guys get these tires heated up. It's going to be harder and harder to catch the leaders, and we're definitely seeing that there is two different flights here tonight. Got that first flight of 4. Be followed closely by a flight of 3. And then Miles Morse seems to be the lone horseman.
The man alone. he is a bit of a man alone right now, unfortunately. But right now, these two flights are making up for it. Flight 1 way out here in front. That's the Watson, LaBarge, Long, and Fell flight. And that is followed by the Shire, Camargo, and Means flight.
Michael Long definitely feeling better. As he is starting to, he drove really deep into that last turn. It kind of cost him a little bit now because Simon Fell, he left the door open. Fell now going to be challenging Long for third. This battle was still out. Fell has the inside line, the dominant position. Still trying to get a nose out. Just dipped 2 tires in the grass right there on the tight side of the white. Seemed to kind of slow him back, but here he is. Think he's going to get it done. Looking for the crossover. Not going to be a check. But that's going to move Simon Fell up into third place for the first time tonight.
What a move. And you know what? It was because Michael Long's move was so costly. Like he pushed and slid down to the inside, tried to cross up to close the door, but it cost him so much momentum that it gave Fell that chance on the inside. I watched the whole thing transpire with you though, Big Al, and that was really impressively done. Good patience, good move by Simon Fell.
Absolutely. Now Brian LaBarge is going to be doing everything that he can to try to gain back those precious tenths of seconds that he lost to our leader, James Watson. One thing these guys don't want to do, they don't want Watson to get out to a definitive lead, something which that they're going to, risk going a lap down themselves. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, I can't think of how to defend against Watson in this case. How do you defend against someone who's so far ahead in terms of their just where they're sitting for the most of the race? Do you get one car ahead of him? You got to try to get one or two, at least 2 cars ahead of him. But who's going to get ahead of him right now?
I don't know. This is a fellow I know, Big Al. I'm pretty sure we're halfway through this thing. If you would ask him, he'd probably say something like, "I'd wreck him." Can't do that. What?
You can't do that, Big Al. No. Shame.
How are we halfway through this thing? Am I missing something?
I don't.
All right. This one's been rolling along.
Awesome. Yes, it certainly has been rolling along, and these guys have been rolling along too. We're on lap 52 right now. Ooh, wow, Simon Fell.
Into the grass. That's going to cost him dearly.
Yes, it is. Fell now out of the bubble. He's falling back through the groups. He's in 4th place now. But he kept it alive, and we kept it away from a yellow. But that is going to cost him, and it certainly did. He paid the iron price there. Let's watch that back in the Wayback Machine. Here comes Fell. We just watched it. I was watching the instant replay thing.
He did keep it in the grass and off the wall, so heads up to Simon for that, man. That's always a kudos. Those guys need a solid run here tonight. That's going to move old Brian LaBarge up into the catbird seat. Brian started this thing on the pole, and now he's going to have to get back, pull his bootstraps up, figure out how he's going to lasso that leader. James Watson totally starting to run away with this thing right now, as LaBarge seems to find himself off the pace just a little bit. Simon Fell making up for his misstep, actually put down the fastest lap time that last lap. He rolled in with a 16.875. He's going to be pulling that all the way in back from 5th place. As now, up front, Michael Long is trying to make his move on Brian LaBarge. This battle's going to be for 2nd place. Simon Fell had to love seeing that up front, because that means the more these two guys are battling each other, the less time they're focusing on him. He has 1 car to get ahead of. That seems to be West Shire. Then he'll be back into the clean air, trying to get back all of those positions that he did lose. And speaking of losing, that seems to be the story up front, as Michael Long and Brian LaBarge continue to lose tenths to our leader, James Watson.
Yeah, they do. Whereas I thought Labarge had something magic going on, now it seems like the magic might be gone. Brian Labarge is 2.5 seconds almost behind James Watson. Michael Long managed to get in front of Labarge for P2, but it looks like even Long is still a 1.5 seconds almost behind James Watson. Although watching right now, it looks like he's at about 1.3 and going down in terms of the overall gap. So who knows? This could be just a matter of a time before Michael Long shaves off those tenths like we were looking for and makes his way up to James Watson to challenge him.
Yeah, Miles Morris, hopefully he can kick that thing. He can keep that thing kicked in the rear and stay on the lead lap, at least at the tail end of it. He's probably going to be wanting a caution to come out sometime pretty soon. But, hey, look, I don't really see one. Still got side-by-side or tail-to-nose racing that's going on. Got Simon Fell in that 256 car. He's chasing Wes Shires. Actually got him reeled in. And you'll see right here, further than the back there, that would have been Menzies and Camargo that are going at it as well. Men's, sorry.
It's all right. Yep, I've been getting it wrong constantly too. Connor Mins there, sitting in 6th place, right where he started this race. Also, so a familiar spot for him right now, but he has room to grow. And in the meantime, though, he's got to make up some places to do it. Mins a little bit too far behind Simon Fell to challenge without really making some speed up. He's got to make a 3-second gap up between himself and Simon Fell. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. We could get another yellow that scrunches up the entire field here. And those yellows are going to save some of these guys tonight in terms of giving them a chance to get back on the top.
James Watson, the leader on pit road now. He's going to be getting his service to go. Watching this, Brian Labarge also falling way back in his seat, man. He's got Wes Shires pulling up on his keister right now as green flag pit stops are officially underway. 2 cars on the lane, 1 car coming down now. We'll be watching to see if everybody can get in clean, get out unharassed. This is going to be the only time that these guys are going to be able to make a difference. But this can be a tricky pit road, especially entering the pit road here. But back on the racetrack. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Back on the racetrack, Simon Fell is making one heck of a play.
Yeah, now these guys are probably going to want to come in, pretty soon. The last thing you don't want Watson back out there on fresh tires after making this pit stop. You're sitting back here on less tires, that gap's going to get bigger because he's definitely going to be faster than the field right now. So in my humble opinion, I think you're going to want to try to keep your pit stops close.
Okay.
And if anything, we know Watson is a saver.
Yes. He's more likely to save than to really, push and, try to get things done early.
Now Watson will be battling on the inside, trying to get his lap back from Shire. Proving a little bit more difficult than we might have expected, but here he is now on the inside, showing that dominant line. Still not enough for the driver off to get around him yet. And that's going to leave the door open as Brian Labarge is going to actually roll in. That's Simon Fell actually is going to be rolling in. Remember, Fell, Menz, Long, Shire, all on the lead lap still. These guys are yet to pit.
Okay. I got eyes on the gap right now between Fell and Mins. That's about a 2-second gap.
Shire with the crossover attempt there as he let Watson go by on the high side just to try to drop back down to the low. These guys feeling pretty good about their cars, I can tell you that. One guy that was suspect, that is Brian Labarge, who was way off the pace, and he was losing ground effectively, or efficiently, I should say. Effective and efficiently. And that's not what you want to be good at on a track like this.
I'm curious now, what is it you really do want to be good at on a track like this? Just the opposite of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the opposite of aggression. I think that's what it's going to take. You got so many guys that if you were to actually watch them and they're driving hard into the turns, then they're hard on the gas. If you look at guys like Watson and LaBarge when he started, these guys are they're just kind of like they're rolling the throttle. I mean, they're never really hard on anything. They're just kind of in it all the time. If that makes more sense.
Yeah, I think we see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have as much of a transition in terms of slowing down on the turns as well as releasing and hitting that straightaway. And I think that's probably one of the biggest keys here. Plus, it helps you save that right front tire a lot, too.
And right fronts are going to be the name of the game in terms of wear and tear, folks, as we are on lap 79 at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah. Watson doing everything he can to try to get his laps back. I think he might have to wait until these guys actually pit. Now, one thing everybody definitely wants to see, especially Watson and the guys behind, that's a caution. We've had one thus far.
One caution, and not too bad. One caution for a one-car spin. And that car, Drew Bernardi, is not in the race anymore.
Yeah, we're watching Simon Fell and West Shire as they're battling it out now, coming up around Brian LaBarge. LaBarge will be treated as a lap car on this run. And here he is coming down pit road. Yeah, not sure what's going on with that car, but we're definitely going to have to get that one fixed. Sorry, that was the 73 of Miles Morse. That means Morse is actually going to go a second lap down, as he was actually passed by the leaders right there.
A second lap down? Brian LaBarge, what happened?
That's Miles Morse. I'm sorry. Miles Morse was the driver.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, now Miles is definitely 2 laps down.
Still, yeah, what happened to those two? They were both doing so good. Well, Morse has been, unfortunately, he's had some troubles getting out of where he's been. But LaBarge had the keys to the city.
You know, Morse has been like that cream cheese cake on the 4th day in the fridge. You know, you're like, is it good or is it not good, man? I don't know. Can cake go bad? Yeah, it sure can.
Yes, it can.
Right?
Can cake go bad?
Can cake go bad?
Yeah. Yes, it very much can. And right now, all the cake, belongs to Michael Long, who is still out in front by 3 seconds, almost 4 seconds from Simon Fell.
We're still watching these guys. Brian LaBarge right there with the fastest lap time on that last lap, as he also holds the fastest lap time overall with a 16.697. But his fastest is a 16.594.
And we got a yellow out.
Caution's out. That is the one thing we talked about. That's the one thing that nobody wanted to see as the pace car enters the field. I'm looking at it's the 73 car that seems to be the cause of the commotion, as he is right there, then put it up into the wall again. Probably going to lose another lap, and that definitely is the caution that no one wanted to see. James Watson, Brian LaBarge, Naiji Camargo, Miles Morse 3 laps down. The other guys are a lap down. This caution not going to help them out at all, because that's what's going to happen. The leaders are going to pit now. Now, Watson's going to stay out. He'll be looking for the wave around. I do believe he is the lucky dog, because he is the first car that is on that lead lap. So Watson's going to prevail on this, but the biggest problem is going to come up is watching LaBarge and Camargo and how they end on this note. It seems they're going to cycle through as well. So all will be right once this is over.
And we're back on track. Gotta get these boys out and in order.
LaBarge and Camargo should get the wave around here.
Okay.
Once we get the one to go.
LaBarge and Camargo. Both of them, huh?
Yeah, well, both those guys stayed out, and Watson would have gotten a lucky dog.
True. We shall find out.
And there they go. They're both off. Now we'll tighten this thing back up, and Watson's looking a lot better than he did before that caution came out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's driving a much cleaner line, but then again, we're still only doing pit laps, so let's give it a chance to see if some time in the hospital changed him.
LaBarge and Camargo both coming in, but Long wasting no time getting started. It's almost he could feel that pressure coming on the back of his neck, and the pressure did change because just like that, a couple cars feeling like got a new lease on life as LaBarge dives down deep to come underneath Watson as Watson kind of got hung up by Shire. Now LaBarge is on the inside, really trying to make that move work. This battle is for position. Remember, LaBarge fastest overall thus far. Now he's got Watson hanging on the high side. Watson's going to be doing everything he can to keep that car under control as he is forced up to the high line now, too wide. As LaBarge is now up to Shire, he's going to be trying to get down to the inside. This battle's going to be for what would be fourth place. And Brian LaBarge, just like that, feeling his way back around.
He's got to be careful. This situation is going to be tricky. Don't underestimate James Watson. He's got some racecraft up his sleeve that usually goes out in his favor. So they got to be careful around this guy. He's fast, but he's also very smart.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is a scholar, if you will. But Watson Long drag fell.
You can almost make a little ditty out of that. But right now, Mins in tow. Well, right now, Michael Long out in front by 0.6 of a second.
Yep, here comes
over half a second.
LaBarge trying to make his move now on Connor Mins. Got him locked in, trying to get him dialed in right now. He is poking and probing. You'll watch him now as he's going to probably bring his nose down on the inside. Still trying to establish that position here. Man's doing a good job of actually keeping his car together and holding it up on the high side, but here comes LaBarge. He's going to be deep down on the inside now. Once they push you out like that, just like that, LaBarge goes round. He keeps riding that thing, and the caution is going to come out. Good for him. He'll just go back to the longest line. And we're on our third caution, man. It's like somebody had a magical wand, and they just tick, tick, and just like that, man. This thing then got all shook up.
Well, let's take a quick look at that on replay, and then we'll take our first commercial break here. Got squeezed a little bit, just a littlest bit.
Right there, he tried to come back out, but those things can get a little tight, especially around the corner. But excellent job of Brian getting that car pointed back in the right direction and keeping it out of trouble. Let's go ahead and take a step away, get word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Hey folks, we're back here at North Wilkesboro calling the Tuesday Night Thunder Shock Series. And it's me, Joe Lo. Oh, there goes the green. We are green yet again. You know what that means? It's time to go. Around North Wilkesboro, leading things off right now. You might think it's James Watson, but not this time. It's Michael Long right now. James Watson is actually in the middle of the pack right now.
James Watson is actually trying to get around too. He's going to thread the needle here pretty soon, as he is stuck behind. I believe that is Menz and Shire. And there he is right there. He's going to make it 3 wide. I told you he would. And look, Brian Labarge right there as well. This is going to get sporty. Hey, this is what you spent your money here for, folks. We're going to watch these 4 cars right here. And this is where the magic's going to happen. You got your reigning champion right there, James Watson, and he is stuck right there in the midst of these guys. You see Men's car just completely loose there and unstable, not being able to get a good hookup. He's trying to drive off. Labarge actually watched that, and that actually caused him to check up just a little bit here. As Watson now going to dive clear down, not getting clear shot just yet. Wes is being able to live to fight another day, not closing the bottom off though, so he's still going to leave that opportunity for Watson. Labarge is in the back. He is growing impatient as well. I thought that was one of the things we talked about. Patience, guys. Patience is the virtue that's going to win you this race, not aggression. And Simon Fell's loving Michael Long, and Simon Fell are loving everything that's going on behind them, because it's actually allowing them to drive off just a little bit now, putting a gap between Shire and themselves. And Wes doing everything he can to keep watching it and Labarge at bay, because look, once that sieve starts leaking, it's over.
And now things are still hot back there with James Watson. Watson just a little bit ahead of the 8 right now of Brian Labarge. Labarge trying his best to stay there. Ooh, falling back, causing a little bit of a checkup with Menz. And Watson nearly getting into Shire. It is crazy up here right now.
Yeah, that's an understatement. As Watson closes the door on Labarge, Brian still back, line and wait. Not able to make anything happen as Shire keeps the door closed on Watson. He's leaving it wide open though through the turns, not able to get down there and secure that position. That's going to cost him here in the long run. Watson probably not appreciating the time that it's costing him right now with just 50 laps to go. These guys will be wanting to get up and around so he can try to catch the leaders. You're burning up a lot of tire too sitting here at this table, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
Lost it again.
Yes, he did.
It just gets too tight right there. You know, he's going to have to let that thing ride up a little bit before he tries to get in on it, because it's almost like a pinch point. Oh, he gets a bump from behind. He's going to love that. I do believe that was Mr. But that was Menz. No, that was Camargo.
That was Camargo from behind Labarge, yeah.
Yeah.
What a shot that was. And I was expecting that a lot sooner, actually. I'm been impressed that they've been able to stay out of running into each other so far. Oh, here it goes down to the inside.
Labarge's getting very impatient right now as he is trying to make his way. He feels that his car is faster and he doesn't like the situation that he has. But here he is now, as he just checked up a little bit in that turn, trying to get his best runs on Watson here. Still not trying to bring it in too tight because he cannot afford to get it loose again. He's already bobbled it twice. Third time he might not be so lucky. Michael Long that time with the fastest lap at a 16.727. And I'm telling you, he is out front. He is unmolested and uncontested, and he is just rolling.
He truly is, yeah. Long. A full, let's see. Hey, he's only half a second ahead of Simon Fell, but it feels like so much longer. Fell himself, the subject of much in news tonight. Involved in some of the early wrecks. One of the first drivers to make that move up the field really and make it stick along with West Shire. And right now, Michael Long is driving hard, trying to keep him
That's
off the field.
They're locked up here for second place. Watson doing everything he can to hold LaBarge off. LaBarge was clear, didn't get it stuck, couldn't stick it though. And that allowed Watson to kind of close the door on him once again. Now he must regroup.
Got to regroup, got to reset the brain.
Here he is now, going to be diving down to the inside. This is that signature move that Brian does. Still a little tight on the turn, not being able to get the release right there. He didn't get it though. He kept it rolling. Here he is now making that turn nice and tight, waiting on the acceleration to come through, holding it in a line. Still has the nose there on the inside of Watson. Watson not clear. Watson washes up the track. LaBarge gets the drive off that he needs that time. Still gets a little sticky in the rear. He gets a little icky in the rear, I should say. Now back down on the inside. Watson watches. Watson rolls. LaBarge falls in place, setting it up one more time. He's going to run it back again, but he better hurry up because looks like Camargo himself is starting to make a move as he's now going to be on the inside of Mr. Menz. And that's going to pull Connor further back out of the chase, and that is definitely going to allow Watson and LaBarge to battle it out. But meanwhile, up front, Mr. Fell and Mr. Long are long gone.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. That's the two cars that are out ahead by about 4 seconds, 3 seconds ahead of everybody there. And by everybody, I mean everybody else on the front lap and everybody else left in the race. There's only 7 cars in this race now.
And you know, these guys actually have faster cars. They just have to get a signal to each other to say, hey, man, let's just go. It's go time. I mean, they're sitting here picking each other, pricking each other. They just need to put the hammer down and catch those guys. Even Shire is starting to enjoy a little bit of alone time.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But it sort of adds up, especially when you got such a small field. Any amount of alone time that you can get on a short track, any amount of alone time that you can get in a small field, it's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Fell was actually the faster of the two. He had been out front for a percentage of the contest. As we're still watching LaBarge as he's still sliding all over the place. But now Long has since taken the lead, and he is enjoying the fruits of his labor.
And right now, checking in with the leaders. Fell and Long. It feels like Fell knows his position right now is to sit behind Michael Long and wait for the moment to make his move when he needs to. In the meantime, though, he doesn't need to make that move, although he might be making it almost. I was going to say right there, but it looks like he can't quite do it. Oh, no. Yellow flag is out.
Yeah, that's going to be Mr. LaBarge and Mr. Watson here. Over here doing things that cars shouldn't be doing.
Unspeakable things that cars shouldn't be doing. I don't even know if I want to know. Was it a late hit during yellow?
They were touching.
Oh no, this is the replay. Sorry, I gotta get used to when I'm looking at the right spot for the replay. Blah. They were indeed, yeah.
They were touching.
Back to live here.
And you know, here's the deal. We're gonna put these rocks in this cup and we're gonna shake them out again, and we're gonna throw them out there and see where they land. But something's gonna have to give down on the racetrack. These guys are not gonna be able to keep this up, especially as we get down to it. 25 laps ago, half of the time has elapsed, and we still haven't had any major movement down on the racetrack. Now, the one good thing that comes out of this caution, Joe, that is Felon Long, well, they're not so far long gone anymore.
That's true. The accordion effect has come back into full swing here. It was stretched out. The accordion comes pressing back together. And with it, it brings the leaders back down, and it gives everybody else a fighting chance. All right, I think we're going to be... Nope. Taking a look for the pace car, I can see that it's still got lights on, so we're still at least 1 to green. At least 2 to green, I'm sorry. And there we go. Lights are off, which means this time around it's going to be go time. Let's get ready for it, folks. Let's get ready to rumble in these last few minutes of tonight's race.
Yeah, thank you all for joining us, man. It has been a treat, at least for us up front. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it at home as well. Space Cars off and away, and Michael Long, wastes no time getting this party started again. Brian Labarge, he stucks down into the inside, way off the throttle. Not sure if he got a black flag, but that's definitely going to cost him a couple of spots. Long running, fell, chasing. Watson is now behind Naizi Camargo. Camargo is actually able to make a little bit of headway as a result of the contact between Labarge and Watson. Michael Long not wasting any time. He is getting right back out to where he started, and that's establishing his lead.
That's right. As far out as he can, but driving a good, solid line. That's even more important here.
Yeah,
and he's going to be far out, but he's going to be drawing. He's going to be very careful with it, though.
I don't know what happened to Brian Labarge. It's like he got his hand smacked a little bit. He is kind of hanging out in the back, at least for the time being.
All right, and we can see and hear that the current leaders, you're not going to believe this, it's Felon Long. All right, and here comes the group now. Whoa! We've got some activity back there. Not what you want to see.
No, you really don't. Men's is all over the back bumper of Watson. Shire took himself out for a walk. We're waiting to see if he can actually make it back.
Up there at the front, it's those two again. I think it will be probably for the rest of this race, unless something crazy happens.
Laying way off there. It's almost like he's gauging. That time he kind of came back in and almost smacked the wall. For his efforts, though, he's going to have Wes Shire up his keister to be dealing with him here. Watson now sitting back just a little bit off the back of Camargo. But that is really going to cause things to stack up on him. Somebody got to empty the dishwasher.
A price must be paid. Something must be done.
I mean, you know, something's got to give.
Indeed.
Grab hold of that big fella over there.
Which big fella?
Now LaBarge back up on the outside of Menz. Now he is back into this thing, trying to once again get around Watson. Still not clear Menz. Menz goes high. Sorry, that's Shire and Menz. Ooh, Brian getting the envelope back there. So I had to put the hammer down. They almost had a little bit of a 3-wide situation, and whenever you're 3 wide for 5th, that's really not leaving a whole lot left to the imagination, especially for the guys up front, as we are just down now to 5 laps to go. 5 short laps to go. Question is, can Michael Long get it done? Menz just stepped out, took Shire with them. They're not going to be in the contest right no more. That's going to free things up for Brian LaBarge. Michael Long still on the run. He is going to be looking at his relative, though, as he has now got himself a quite comfortable lead there over second place. And, Joe, I think this one's about in the books, buddy.
I think you might be right. But fuel might come into play here, too. We got to keep that in mind within these last couple of laps here. 39 seconds left before the white flag, though. Let's see what happens as we get down to the line.
That is saved it under caution.
Let's see. 26 seconds back there. Another 10 seconds gets shaved off. And we've got eyes across the field. Simon Fell there doing all right in second place. But Michael Long out in 21st. Absolutely dominant right now. Very much a man alone, but very good.
That's your race.
And that's it. That's going to be it, folks. Michael Long takes it for the checkered flag.
Watson has left the building.
And James Watson is out.
Yeah, I don't think he was especially happy, but, you know, sometimes that's the way it goes. Let's give a shout-out to Michael Long, though, as he brings it home tonight in the winner's circle. That Holly Farms bucket of chicken gonna go to the Long fans. What? Simon Fell keeping it done, bringing it home in second, and my man Easy Camargo brings it home in third. Fourth place is going to be James Watson. Fifth place, Brian LaBarge. Sixth place, West Shire. Connor Menz is in seventh. Eighth place shows Miles Morris. Ninth place, Eric Dubois. And Drew Bernardi's going to round out this 10-car field. Hey, look, this thing's done. We're going to take a step away, get some word from our sponsors here, and we'll be going to right back here with continued coverage of our post-race show.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
We are back on Tuesday Night Shock Series post-show, which means that we are going to do a little bit of interviewing right now. It's Ninja Camargo, the third place finisher here in tonight's race, and we are going to be talking to him up here in the booth. Let's go ahead and get him in here.
Hi, good night, everyone.
Ninja, oh, hey, there you are. All right. Sorry about that. Hey, how that was quite the race. It was a nice short track, but you were one of the people that we didn't mention you too much during tonight's race. You didn't get involved in anything that I could tell. You stayed in the middle of that pack race. How was the race from your perspective? How was it?
I can say it was not my bingo card finishing third today. I was really struggling with understeer the whole race. I was really suffering.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell that it fell on my lap.
Yeah. Sometimes that is the way it goes. But you found yourself there. You took advantage of the situation in terms of making sure that you were driving well enough to get there. But how did you combat the understeer? Like when you felt the car understeering, what did you do? What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I was backing up really early and was turning way earlier than I usually do. I don't know if the track was hot today or was just the rubber, but was really understeering. We were talking just before I come here. Everyone was complaining about the understeering. The car was just not turning.
Wow. Okay. So it wasn't just you. Sounds like everybody else was having some trouble too. We saw a little bit of that from up here in the booth. We saw some understeer problems, but we're glad that you managed to make it through, my friend. Very good job in the end. Good third place finish. Is there anyone you want to thank or shout out to for your performance today? Anyone you want to say hello to?
Yeah, I always thanks the guys of TWR for the setups and all the things they do. You guys here in the booth doing the show, and the TNT Racing Discord and everyone inside that.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, man. Good job again with that third place finish. And we hope to talk to you up here in the booth real soon.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All righty. And with that, I'm going to pass things over to Big Al so that he can talk to our second place finisher, Simon Fell. Big Al, you have the mic.
Hey, Simon Fell, Big Al up in the booth. You got me.
Hey, I got you.
Hey, man, I always got to give a shout out to the 256 representing. How you doing tonight, boss?
Doing good. That was a heck of a race. A
heck of a race indeed, especially the first half of that. It would look like things were going in your favor. You were out front. You even had you got to lead a couple of laps there. Oh, you didn't lead any laps, but you were still up front. You were battling it. Just couldn't quite catch Fell, huh?
I just couldn't quite get Michael at the end. We were very equal on pace, so could get to the back of him, but couldn't get alongside him.
What were some of the greatest challenges you guys faced with that car down there this evening? Some of the greatest challenges you faced this evening?
The tires, the place just chews them up. It's crazy. So you gotta work on your set and work on your line and hope it all comes together.
Yeah, I don't think this track was intended for these cars, but you guys actually got down there and you made it look pretty easy. It was definitely delightful watching yourself and Michael Long battle back and forth this evening. Man, who you shouting out here tonight for your spirited second place finish?
Hey, hello to my family at home.
All right, gonna call any name source? Little Jimmy? Well, I'll tell you what, boss, congratulations to you, and as I always say, don't party too hard, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Back to you, Joe.
You got it, my friend. And I'm going to talk to Michael Long. Mike, can you hear us?
I can.
Okay, welcome up to the booth, my friend, and congratulations on winning that race. You had it really locked down there at the end. What was the secret sauce, my friend?
If I knew what that was, I'd do it at the rest of the tracks. I just this track, I don't know. This was actually one of my worst tracks when I first started racing with these guys, and I just found something the last time we were here that seemed to work, and then I just tweaked that a little bit, and I knew I was rock solid for a long run. And then and I also knew I was getting good fuel mileage out of it, so I knew I could make it on one stop. So the cautions helped, but I really didn't even need those. I was a little surprised when those guys pitted from, James and Brian pitted from the top there, and I was like, well, wait a second, maybe I can win this thing. So a little bit surprising, but I knew it was pretty solid.
Yes, sir. And some of those restarts really worked out for you. And then watching James Watson fall back in the field a little bit, I'm sure you saw that door open wide for you there. Did you feel at any point that understeer that I keep hearing some of the guys talk about?
No, that was a problem for, we're all talking on Discord, so you can hear what the other guys are saying. And, I wasn't really having that problem. I mean, I had a touch of it, but I kind of worked that out before the race in practice, and so I was able to pretty much lay into the throttle. As long as I was patient, I didn't want to overdrive the car. You definitely could wear that tire out if you went really quickly in the first part of the stint, but as long as you were a little bit careful, I had plenty of tire left as towards the end of the run, which was really helping me there, because Simon was quick. Simon was as quick as I was, but it's tough to pass if the cars are the same speed.
Yes, yeah. Once you get to that section where the cars are lined up, you're gonna be side by side for most of that race until someone makes a mistake. But you managed to come out on top, my friend. Good job for that gold medal finish. Is there anyone you want to thank or shout out to tonight?
Yeah, I always I like to thank my wife for letting me do this. She's pretty patient. It definitely takes practice. These guys in this series are pretty darn good, and it's I've been doing it for 3-4 years now, and first time I won, it took a while. So but it took a lot of hard work too, trying to get a setup that really worked for me, and then keeping my head on straight and staying out of trouble in this race was definitely something I needed to do.
All right. Well, hey, we're gonna hopefully talk to you up in the booth again real soon. Michael, was this your first or second win of the season?
First win ever with the series. Actually, I've had a number. Number of second and thirds, but yeah.
Well, hey, I got to call it. I feel so special. All right. Michael Long, everybody, your first place finisher. Michael, amazing job tonight. Great work here at North Wilkesboro, and we'll catch you again, hopefully in Victory Lane next time around, okay?
Yep, thanks very much.
Hey, you got it. Take care. Have a good rest of your night. And, folks, that's going to wrap things up here from North Wilkesboro. Joe Lo here in the booth. I had a great time tonight. I thought this was a great race. It was a short track racing, which is a lot of fun. Open wheel racing, which is even more fun. And Big Al, how about you? Did you have fun tonight, buddy?
A blast. I'm telling you, it's a lot easier sitting up here eating corn dogs and watching this thing, just talking about it, instead of having to be down there and be about it. You know what I mean? Those that can't do, commentate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I fully believe it. And here we are. So from everybody here up in the booth, that's me, that's Big Al, that's Kobe. We want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you to James Watson. Thanks to all the fans and to all the racers who come out and make Tuesday Night Shock Series such an excellent experience. Tuesday Night Thunder Shock Series. Got some information up on the screen right now. If you want to join the league, Facebook, YouTube, all the links. And folks, take care. Have a happy holidays if you're celebrating right now. And we will see you the next time around. See ya.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.